Hey guys, what's going on? Kyle here again, and all of our paraphernalia along with our 150 gallon, which is black on the back, can't see it very well, the 150 gallon tank here in the garage still. We're hoping that today is one of the last days. I really want this project to be done by the end of this week. So what we're going to do about it today, and I'm sorry the lighting back here, we're all in the shadow, so it is what it is, but here we go. Alright, what we're doing today, we are going to go through all this plumbing, because I don't know if you remember, but on this guy we had a couple of small drops that were forming, and I think they were forming above this union right here. I think they were forming up here, above this. So here is what we're going to do. Just to start out with is there's one, this one is actually silicone, there's one here, there's silicone, no, that's silicone too, silicone, there's two, and there's three. I believe these three I did, and this one was, but we remember we had that issue, I believe this one was the right one, where we had the issue where water was leaking out here. We're not going to do that. We're not going to deal with it. I'm replacing all the ones that have the pipe dope. I'm doing silicone. I'm not going to fight with it anymore. Again, and I'll take the blame. I will accept full responsibility that I just don't know how to put it on. If you're a plumber, please enlighten me, because I don't know, but I'm not going to deal with it. We're just going to put some of that silicone up in here, and here, and in here. Let it cure overnight. Again, I mean, I'm not pushing water through the system. The other thing we need to do today is get the sump out of here. Make sure to clean it up. We got these water marks here. I'm going to go ahead and put on, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, probably not, but the gray, you can see it through the sump here. The gray liner, I'm going to go ahead and staple that into the bottom of the aquarium here. I'm also going to, up here, again, lighting is terrible, I'm so sorry, going to put a beam across here to where I can do little supports to help hold up plumbing lines, to be able to put a light up there. What a concept. That way we can do that. The next thing after that, once we get those in, and I have plenty of wood and 2x4s over there to do that, so that'll be a quick job. But what we're going to do following that is go ahead and plumb the rest of this guy out. We can see, I'm going to show you the quick here, manifold that we built the last time, which worked beautifully. It's awesome. I've gone ahead and laid out the rest of the little T-piece here. This is going to be the piece that feeds, I'll show you where this will go. You can see on my return here, this 90 right here and this 90 right here. This return will land in between here somehow, some way, and I'll probably have to move my my drain over a little bit to where I can get this actually legitimately in between. You know, I guess it doesn't really have to be directly in the center, but you know, that way I can put this wherever I need it to go and get the manifold in here. And just looking, you know, I probably will end up putting it favoring the left side over here. And again, I have these valves which are just pitch black, but I'll have these valves that I can dial in and make sure the pressure's even on both sides. So I'm not really worried about, you know, symmetry or anything like that. I really just want the plumbing to fit. And then with the manifold, I'll probably have to live over here favoring this side either way. So I just want to be able to get to this valve. So we'll have to watch that. But yeah, we need to get this come together and need to go ahead and get this. It's hot. It's summer here in Texas. So yeah, we need to get this sucker inside and get it to where we can enjoy it in the nice cool air. So anyways, the next thing that we'll have to do, I might, depending on if I get to it, is go ahead and drilling a hole into the sump here. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing that, but get that pump positioned, figure out where that hole needs to be, and then from there go ahead and drill it, plumb it, and man, if we can get water in tonight, I would, or you know, here I have tomorrow off, so if I can get water in, you know, with me going ahead and doing these joints here, I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, I'm going to focus on getting this stuff cleaned up, get it cleaned out. Like I said, stapling up this little membrane down here. That way we can have our protection, extra level of protection. And then I also had some ideas for protection for the actual carpet too, because this is going to go inside on carpet. And what I think I'm going to do here is I think I've got, let me see if I can find this. I remembered I had, there's a nice AC, but it doesn't even like the hot, it's kind of cutting out. But so I have this little piece, I mean it's super thin, like what is this? This is 1/8 inch, maybe? Quarter inch? Yeah, 8/4 inch, okay. So this is a 1/4 inch piece of finishing, veneer basically. And I figure what I'm going to do is actually cut out a template, 48 by 24 to go on the bottom here. But what then on top of that, so I'm going to put this straight onto the carpet, and then also to keep, if say, let's just pretend worst case scenario, this starts massively cut underneath, it manages to penetrate through the membrane that's in the basin there. Say it overflows even that. What I want to do is have the, if it manages to get through all of the stain, the finish, it rots the wood somehow, some way. I mean, I put so much urethane inside, but what if, worst case scenario, I'm going to have this on top of the carpet, and I want to have some of like what, a 5 mil or 7 mil, whatever the plastic, the nice hefty plastic is, painter's tarp, on top of this between, so carpet, this, the plastic, and then the stand will go on top of this. That way I can have a little bit of all of it. So, and a little bit of extra protection just to isolate this board from this. If water were to get into the wood on this, it won't rot down to this board here. Overkill, maybe. With the weight, I think this will just disappear into the carpet. As far as, I don't think we'll ever see that. We'll test it just to make sure. But I'm not going to dump 150 gallons of, throw that away or anything. So we'll see. But I want to protect the very nice and expensive carpet I just had put in. Here's my other possible sump that I had. It's a 30-gallon. And what I'm going to do is, I have even started putting baffles in here. I'm going to go ahead and actually scrape those out. It's just silicone. So I'm going to go ahead and take a razor to those, clean those out as well. And then clean that one out. That'll be a quarantine tank for me. It might even be a future frag tank. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty excited about the possibilities for the future, or if I think about doing some fish breeding or something like that. But anyways, all right, I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. And on the next video, we'll talk about, what I'll do. We'll actually go through the steps of what I'm doing today, but this was just kind of a, here's what we got planned for the day, and then the next video will be coming out pretty quickly here, so see you shortly. Hello and welcome back yet again. I am under the sump, or under the tank, and I will let you know that everything I'm shooting today, or right now, is going to be very close up. So I have the camera here set to close. I even have my handy dandy non-work light lamp with me. I realized of all the toys that I have, a work lamp is not one of them. So that will be on the list of things to buy at Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever I decide to go here in just a little bit. So let's talk more. Here we go. All right, if you notice here, silicone, good. Silicone, very good. I sliced my thumb the other day. Yay. Silicone here, good. Silicone, good. Silicone, good. Silicone, good. I just redid this one because it was a hybrid. I did a little bit of silicone and a little bit of pipe dope. Pipe dope. Boo. Again, I'll take responsibility. I might not know how to use it. It looks like I do. It makes drips. This one didn't drip, but I don't care. I'm not going to chance it. And then this one here, right there, is also pipe dope. This is the one we did have an issue with. I don't remember. We'll see here in just a minute if this is actually a hybrid. The hybrid ones didn't seem to have an issue. This one's, I believe, I'm pretty sure it's a hybrid where I put a bead of silicone and then piped up on top. Which, I mean, why would that not work? It's just the silicone, really, in that case. So, that's my assumption, is this one's a hybrid and this one is not. But I went ahead, this one was a hybrid, and I went ahead and replaced it altogether. You know what, I'm much more satisfied with that. I went ahead also and shored up these bulkheads down here, because when I did these the first time, I did not have near as good of access, because I've gone ahead and taken out the tank. I'm sitting where the tank would be. Here's where the liner will be here in just a moment once I get to that, which I'll go ahead and include that on this video. So anyways, I'm going to take this apart now. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to use, I've got a pair of vice grips that kind of act like a decent monkey wrench here, but they're channel locks, if you will. So I've got these. I'm also going to wrap the plumbing. I can't do this to show you because I'm by myself here, but I'm going to wrap this like that around to where I don't have the metal hitting the plastic directly. I just don't want to shred the plastic up. I want to keep it in decent looking as best as possible. I also don't want to mess these threads up here. And then I also have my regular, whatever it is here, crescent wrench, if you will, and it will just make sure that we'll put it on this guy to make sure we don't break the seal up there. I will put it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and I'll check back with you here in just a second. Alright, cool. So I was able to go ahead and loosen the seal, and you can see this definitely is a non-hybrid. It is just pipe dope there. So it's going to come off pretty quickly, and there is in fact no silicone in this one. It is just pipe dope. Useless. I'm not a fan. So basically all I'm going to do here then, take my paper towel and clean off. Maybe this is, you know what? I could be wrong. Hold on, let me see. This might be, and the way that I'm telling you is as important. No, I think this is, maybe it might be a hybrid. It is a hybrid. Look, there's a little silicone in there. So I retract my previous statement. I just didn't use enough. And so, and it's really wanting to come out of all there. Look at that big old stringer. Yes. Okay, there it goes. I just didn't use enough silicone there. So, but either way, the pipe dope still at this point seems to be useless. I'm not happy with it, so I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to use silicone. I'm going to use a very healthy amount of silicone here. I'm going to show you what I do here. So let me wipe these off, and I'll be right back again. All right, all parts wiped down pretty well. It's clear of it in there for the most part. I mean, there might be a little bit of stuff that I can't get out from in between the threads, but it should be good. That's wiped down pretty well as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my handy dandy silicone. There we go. Now this is 100% silicone, no additives, yada yada yada. And I'm going to put that on right here. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to squirt it onto my finger. 1 second here. Okay, squirt it onto my finger. There it is. And what we're going to do is work it around here, really focusing on the base where we start the threads down here, because obviously as we work our way up, here we go. As we work our way up, we will have more. Now it will go up with it. I'll scrape some off there that way. Sorry, it's really hard to do this by myself and take a decent video. Some people, just so you know, there goes a wrench. Some people don't, their silicone reacts to their skin. So it doesn't to me, it doesn't bother me. So I'm fine with doing this way. You might not be able to. I've heard stories of this. You know, I've never actually had somebody say, oh, silicone burned my skin or anything like that, but I know that there are cautions that say do not come into contact with your skin, etc., 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 irritation, things of those natures. Those are the kinds of words being used. I'm sorry, I'm so shaky and cannot focus on trying to not look through the camera, but actually. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this with my another finger that doesn't have any silicone on it. That way none gets into the system. Again, I mean, this is supposed to be aquarium safe, so this is what all the people use that you can pick up at your local hardware store, but it's, you know, there are no additives, no antibacterial, anti-mold agents or anything like that, so we're pretty gooped up there. I'm going to wipe my fingers off, stand by. Okay, and now what we will do is take our very clean and, again, hard to see and do at the same time, put it up here. Now the other cool thing about silicone is it is also a lubricant, so I can finger tighten this pretty well, and it's going to allow me to go up as far, as far as it was before, and now it's stuck on there pretty well. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before and grab a hold of this here, but not, well, I'll put the paper towel back on here. I'll put the paper towel like this, and then pinch it down and rotate it to the right, while still grabbing this. Again, I don't want this to move, even though, you know, if this tightened up, it really probably wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't want to mess with this seal at all. I want to keep this from moving while tightening this. So I'm going to put my crescent wrench here, and then the vice grips around here. Again, I have to have both hands, so I'm going to do that real fast. Alright, and there you have it. So I went ahead and tightened it down and smoothed this out a little bit with my finger. So we have now what should be a great seal here. We're going to let this cure for 24 hours. Really, before we do anything, which should be plenty of time. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. You don't need to watch that because I just showed you it's the exact same thing. But yeah, I will go ahead and do that one as well. That way we've replaced all of these, and I know that everything attached to the tank is good. Now, if I also already did one of those, whoop, hold on. There it is. One of those guys right there. There was one of the seals was done with pipe dope only. So I went ahead and replaced that one as well on the returns. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this guy, like I said, this guy right here real fast. So anyways, thanks for tuning in this time. Please work air conditioner. It's blowing cold air now. Yay! It's about 100 degrees where I am right now. So that's going to be it for this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the next one where I'm tacking up the bottom. Oh, you know what? I'll probably include that here. I'll tack up the bottom. I'll show you that, kind of what I did, how I went about doing it. And then the next one, I think what we'll do is we'll probably be finishing the plumbing and drilling out the tank. So I'll show you the liner here in just a second. Alright guys, checking back in. I went ahead, I was able to shore up all of these connections here, all of these guys. Make sure we're on the right setting, and we are. So all of these have been changed out to be silicone. This one actually was silicone and pipe dope, and I had a time cleaning all of the silicone out from that. Now that is, one argument against silicone is that redoing it's a bit of a pain, but I will say even still I feel like the connection that's there now is 10 times better than what was before. So it's been re-siliconed. Looks like you even got a little bit of nastiness right there. It did. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So the all-important orange bucket. Great $2. That's actually full up to like there. So anyways, all of these have been swapped out. So we are good to go. Made sure that all the bulkheads are tightened out. Now we're going to go ahead and put down the pan liner for shower pan liner, which is over here. Wiped it down on both sides just because, made sure that there's no moisture in it. And what I'm going to do here is I've got my handy dandy staple gun here. Huzzah. And what we'll do is put this in to where it just has a lip that goes around all the edges. I'm not talking about, you know, I don't want it to go up 5 inches or anything like that. I just want a lip that has, you know, to where if there is some water that gets splashed out, because I mean, that's inevitable, it's going to happen. It doesn't just land straight on the wood. You know, I want it to land on the plastic here, the liner, to where I can grab some paper towel or towel and soak it up. So anyways, and you know, the other thing, the other argument for these guys, these are isolation pads, sound isolation pads, like $5 a piece. They're really not that bad. So division of, oh, Wagner. I thought I said warning. Anyways, these are great to also just lift the pump up off the ground. So water is that much further to go if it does flood under there. You know, we've got a little bit more, but again, the goal is here never to have to deal with that. That's the idea. But we just want to protect ourselves, so that's why we're doing this. We're going to go ahead, and there's the tennis ball that tells me how far to go in. Sorry, I'm ADD right now. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and set this in here, staple it up, and then I'll show you the finished product here in just a second. Alrighty, and there she blows. We have a liner now, stapled around the edges on the top. Now, use your head. Don't staple through the bottom, because that negates the purpose of the whole thing. Staple through the top rim here. I'll walk around so you can see on the front side, maybe over here at least. We stapled up, folded the corners in, just stapled them over there. Same on this side over here. The light's totally out of the way. Let me go ahead and move it in here. There we go. So, and now this is no big deal. Again, if this fills with water, it's, you know, which again the hope is never have to. This is more just a drip pan. I don't ever want this to have to actually hold water. It will spill out the front before, which is fine. This is just extra precaution. That's all this is. This is not meant to be an end-all be-all of it's just to protect the wood. That's all that's here for, is to protect this wood. So it's in. Next up is going to be, let's clean the sump up and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're going to go ahead and sign off for this video. I think this is plenty long. We'll go ahead and clean this up. I don't think you need to witness or watch that. I'm going to clean that up as well. Don't think you need to witness or watch that. No big deal, but we're getting close. We're going to let those connectors cure overnight, and we will dry fit in the pump here once we get this thing cleaned up. We're going to order, once I dry fit the pump and figure out exactly where I want that pump to go, I'll mark it on here. So, because this is static now, we'll mark it down here on the ground so we know exactly where those little black pads are that go underneath of the pump. And then from there, we will mark on the sump, which will be in this area, I'm sure, close to that front corner, probably much closer than I want it to be, but we'll see what happens. And that's where we will drill. So the drilling should be the next video that we have here. I don't think I'm going to worry about, I mean, you've seen me take that pump in and out a few times. Like I said, I'm just going to make a mark here once I figure out exactly where I can get that pump in here with the sump. Once we get it all situated in there, that's when I will make my drill. I will include you if we run into any issues. So, until next time.